One of the YouTube viewers asked me about an issue they're having while they're retrieving flying line. So let's say that they're retrieving their flying line hand over hand, just as we do, but their kite is not flying straight while that's happening. The nose of the kite's pointed here, and when they make the first pull on the retrieval, the kite goes in that direction. But by the time they get that line released and they're pulling another section of line, the nose of that kite has already moved to a different position. And then when they pull, it goes in that direction. So the kite is zigzagging as they're pulling the line, retrieving the line and zigzagging the kite. They want to know how or if it can be stopped. Well, there are two things that come to mind. One is, and probably this is the main issue, but hard to know, the toe point, the toe connector right here on the lower bridle is most likely positioned too close to the nose of the kite. If you look at where my kite sits, now this is the tail of the kite's here, and it is resting on my table. The nose of the kite is elevated above the table no more than 3/4 of an inch, maybe a half inch. But it's almost flat. It's not at very much of an angle. And the reason I set it up this way is to prevent exactly what this person was describing. So I would suggest that you attempt to move this toe point towards the tail about 1/4 of an inch and then fly the kite and see if it still does what you're talking about, the zigzag. If it does, move it down another 1/4 of an inch and continue until it stops. If it never stops, eventually you have it down low enough where the kite will want to fly upside down. Well, you've gone too far then, and you need to address one other issue, and that is being smoother in your line handling. When you're retrieving line, you have to be able to grip the line, retrieve it, pull it, retrieve it, at the same time your other hand is moving up on the line to grab it as the same time as you release the first amount of line. And that is a technique that takes a little bit of practice, not a lot, but a little bit, to have the timing of the release of the existing line that you're pulling to time exactly at the same moment that when you're grabbing and pulling with the next section of line that you're retrieving. So smoothing out your line handling is one thing to pay attention to. Another is how to adjust this toe connector on the lower bridle so it's a little closer to the tail of the kite, and see if those two things will help or completely eliminate the issue you're talking about.